I get questions a lot of times, right? Why do you have, $35,000 watch? I have a $35,000 watch so that other guys with the same $35,000 watch recognize the watch. Most people in a crowd, they just see a watch. But dudes who wear the same watch, they know that dude, it's a club. When I bought my first Porsche, I did a wire transfer for it, paid for it 100% in full, drove to Atlanta that weekend and picked it up at the dealership. They had it waiting outside, and I snapped a photo. We went inside, and I posted the photo on Facebook. I didn't say I bought it. I didn't say shit. I just took the picture of the car. I sat down for about 45 minutes with the sales manager, signing just some paperwork to receive the vehicle. It was already paid for. And we discussed his llamas. We talked about a llama farm that he has. And he's got a big estate where he raises these llamas, and they grow pumpkins. So they have some seasonal festivities at his estate. And schools come out to his pumpkin patch, and then he does like a Christmas thing. And I just wanted to know how he was monetizing this and his different streams of revenue. So we talked for about 30, 40 minutes about it. I've bought several cars from him, so we've had this conversation in depth a couple of times. When I walked out, there was 1,000 comments on the picture of the car. And a lot of the comments were, "I hate you, you piece of shit." People even said, "I hope you and your family burn to death in that car." And a lot of the comments were, "Hey, welcome to the club. Why don't you come to Road Atlanta while you're in town? Hey, we have a Porsche club in Memphis. Why don't you come up to track days and hang out?" A lot of people I'd never seen comment, but people who own those cars, that's a club. And when you have those things, those are people who are doing business. And a lot of the thing with elite, I'm not saying I'm elite, most of your elite people, if you speak to their kids, right, 20, 30-year-old kids, most of them haven't done shit. They're simply in that club because of birth or because of some secret society or organization that they are in. And a lot of those people that have the money, they have money simply because they know other people with money. And that's kind of the whole thing. It's just being in that club. And they're pretty fucking cool, man. I like the cars. I like the watches. I've got friends that own aircraft. I don't own any planes. When all the COVID shit and they started talking about having to have a COVID vaccine to fly, several dudes I know bought fucking jets. So it's that club. And it's just kind of, you work your way up the ladder. When you have all the cool shit you think you want, somebody notices that and invites you into another place, and you find out that there's some shit that exists that you didn't know existed. It's just like when I started buying oddities. I was buying coyote skulls and, dog skulls and just, stuff. And as people saw me buying those things and they knew that I was a buyer and they recognized that, they invited me into other Facebook groups. And in those other Facebook groups are like museum type shit. And then I met some guys that do auctions, big real estate, mansions, castles kind of shit. A lot of times, grandpa passes away, and if the property's not, if the estate's not in order, a lot of times it just passes straight to a grandkid or remaining relative. And those kids don't care anything about family history or what their grandfather was into. All they want to do is sell that property as fast as they can, and in order to do so, they auction off the contents. And I've got a guy that does auctions of weird stuff, and he knows that I buy weird stuff, and because of that, it's just another door opens. So that's why I buy stuff. I buy a lot of stuff that I can make money on, but I only buy stuff that I don't mind keeping if it doesn't sell. For the most part. Yeah.
I was like,
Is this soup? What are you making? Soup?
shrimp boil.
Looks like garlic soup.
There's sausage. You put sausage in there.
Shrimp
Onion,
boil.
couple heads of garlic.
Are these radishes? I know they're not radishes. Little baby potatoes.
Like radishes.
Any special technique, any tips on how to make a proper shrimp boil?
Brown and sear the sausage before it goes in, and use fresh corn. Don't use frozen.
This is fresh corn.
Yeah, well, they've already shucked it. They already got the corn silk.
Gotcha. Do you like to lay the shrimp all in left-handed, tails to the left, clockwise?
Only in Australia.
Smells good. Smells good.
Oh, and use cheap beer.
And the biggest shrimp you can get.
Yeah.
And cheap beer. What happens if you use good beer?
It's a waste.
Gotcha. Because the internet has given people a voice and a false sense of courage to say things that they wouldn't say to a man's face, because they don't know fear. They don't really have much of a life. A lot of people live lives that are make-believe, and by that I mean they stay in their place and they communicate with people through a monitor, and they live in a fairy tale land, video games and shit like that. And every now and then they travel out into the real world and they forget that they are in the real world, and some of them sometimes get their teeth knocked out. People are just crazy like that. I say a lot of things. I've got 2,600 videos on YouTube. I've had this Facebook page for almost 15 years. And you might love what I say one day. If you're around long enough, I'll say something you probably disagree with. At the end of the day, though, you will know exactly what I thought about what I was talking about. And people, I don't know why they pay attention to things that don't affect them. A good example, a really good example that's current right now, is I posted a photo of the Cat in the Hat sticker we had made. And it says, "I will not wear a mask, blah, blah, blah." I put that picture up last night. There's 300 comments of it on Instagram. And there's probably close to 300 on this Facebook page right now. Just find this picture and read some of the comments. Some of the craziest ones I've banned and deleted from the page. But there are people still arguing back and forth about that sticker. People who I will never meet, people from other countries. I had a bunch of Muslim people, like fucking Middle Eastern, show up talking shit about the mask stuff. I've had people, a lot of them from California. Most of them have Joe Biden's photo. So I'm guessing somebody saw that picture and shared it someplace. We have competitors, you know, guys that make this kind of shit. They watch my page very, very closely. My suspicion is that one of them took it and put it in some liberal Facebook group, and that's why it got bombarded the way it did. They think that that is bad somehow. There is no such thing as bad publicity. The internet game is all about eyeballs. I have a 10% conversion rate. So for every liberal out there, let's say every liberal knows 100 people. 10 of them are as crazy as they are. 10 of them are polar opposite of them. Those are our people for the most part, or a little more to the center perhaps. And then the other 80 are just normal folks. All I need is 10%. So if every liberal who comes and talks trash has 100 people on their page, and 10% are like, hey, this guy says some stuff I agree with, or this guy has some cool stuff, or whatever it is, I got a 10% conversion rate to sales. So if out of his 100, if 10 show up, one of those guys becomes a customer. My average customer sale is $79. My average customer also buys, 12 times a year. So 79 times 12 off of one guy talking shit, and there's hundreds of them, so I get one guy from every one I convert to a customer. But we have a lot of parties and stuff. We'll have thousands of people come to the property. We'll have belt-fed machine guns and live bands, like legit real bands, like that are real bands that have been around on the radios and shit. Food trucks, vendors. We clear out the whole entire sew shop, and we set up a a vendor display area. We've got cigar manufacturers and watch manufacturers and car guys and gun makers and all kinds of stuff. Tourniquet medical suppliers come in, alcohol companies come in, and we just have kind of a get together for all day Saturday and all night till Sunday morning. And so a lot of us, we just become friends, we network, and we do business with people. A lot of us figure out how to co-brand or how to introduce somebody to somebody else where they can do business to business. Clint, UPS driver, man. So do that. That pays the bills, right? 401k, medical, whatever benefits you have, right? Start something of your own. I'm not saying leave UPS. Take something you love to do and figure out how to monetize that and be the best at it, whatever that is. I don't care if it's fucking bubblegum wrappers or fucking baseball cards or playing video games. Find something you love to do. Figure out how to get eyeballs to it, and then figure out how to make money. We were talking about that today with multiple revenue streams from different angles, right? We were talking, Xena was putting some videos together. I think I got 4 or 5 right now that are not published. And we were just talking about, she was like, I think I want to do a YouTube channel on something. I'm like, hell yeah, you do. It doesn't matter what it is. Multiple revenue streams. You're going to make money from YouTube. You're going to make money because you're going to, an example I used is I watch a lot of gardening videos, and I started seeing these gardening videos of these, big titted blonde girls with like half tops, and her legs are spread with these little tight shorts on. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So of course I have a penis. I click on it, and it's this chick harvesting cucumbers, and it seems like her little brother, and maybe it's her son, is videoing her. And she's kind of giggling and talking, but she actually has real content. Like, she actually really is a gardener. And I see that she has 1 million subscribers. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I kind of click out of it after a couple minutes. Don't think nothing of it. Another one pops up with her a couple days ago about how, and the title is YouTube has demonetized my channel. I'm like, okay, I want to hear this. So I click on it. So she's like, I have an OnlyFans. Go join my OnlyFans page. It's free. I'm like, what is that going to be? It turns out she was a Playboy model. She was in Playboy. She's a full-blown fucking porn star. But she was multiple revenue streaming. She was doing this gardening shit, kind of scantily dressed. And she has over like 1.2 million views on all of her videos. So she's making money from clicks. All the stuff she's showing that she's using in the garden, she has links to Amazon. Well, that's an affiliate store. I have an affiliate store. So when you see links in my video to the stuff I'm using in my video and you click that, it downloads a cookie, and anything you buy from Amazon in the next 48 hours, whether it's what I showed you or not, I get a percentage of that. I'm very upfront. I tell people, hey, you like what I'm saying? You want to help out, but you're not buying product or whatever, and you use Amazon? Do me a favor. Go to my website, click that Amazon link. It'll take you straight to Amazon. Anytime you buy, I'll get a little percentage of it. I won't know what you bought. I won't know how much you bought. You won't know it even happened. It doesn't cost you anything different, doesn't change anything for you. It just gives me a couple dollars out of or when you order from Amazon. Take it out of Amazon's pocket and give it to me. So that's a second revenue stream. And then eyeballs. That's all it takes is eyeballs. So if I can sell a t-shirt to you, profit margin on t-shirts are pretty good depending how you do them. If you're lazy and you're doing Teespring or some nonsense, you only make a couple bucks. You're not going to make shit that way unless you have millions of people to buy shirts. So buy a shirt for $10, sell a shirt for $25. That's a good margin. You more than doubled your money, right? They're going to pay shipping, but if you get them to order over $50, you're going to give them free shipping. So that just bumped that order up to get the free shipping. So really you made more money there also. But then you have that 1,000 true fans. If you can have 1,000 people that are willing to pay you to see or listen to what you say every month, if you can get 1,000 fans to give you $5 a month, that's $5,000 a month. Most U.S. citizens don't make $5,000 a month. So you see what I'm saying? So you got your base $5,000 a month. You're going to sell 100 shirts, every week. That's $15 a shirt times 100 that you made that week. You're going to use the Amazon affiliate program if you've got 1,000 eyeballs, and you can get your customers to just click that link anytime they go to Amazon. Average customer probably spends a couple $100 on Amazon a month. You're going to get probably $2, $3 of that. But by 1,000 people, it all adds up. Lunchtime, we already ate, and I forgot to do a video of it, or I forgot to show the final product. So here is what's left. There was 4 of these trays, and now there is 2. We still got a couple guys still to eat though. Some andouille sausage, little taters, big shrimp, some corns. There's some nice onion pieces in here. There was some cloves of garlic, like big, huge garlic things, but that's it right there. That's what it looks like. It is delicious, and it always works great. So what I was saying, Clint, find something you like doing and figure out how to start doing that part-time as a hobby. When guys ask me business advice, they're like, what one piece of business advice would you give me? I go, find something you love doing that you're willing to do for free and figure out how to make money at it. Do you think whoever owns this field, do you think we could have them come get their flowers from my field? Because they didn't used to be there and they're there, and clearly they have come from over here. Not really, but whatever that shit is, it pops up every year. Every year that pops up, and now it's starting to pop up on our place. I just need to string trim it down before it gets any more. There's 63 people on here spending their Friday evening with us while I walk around in my building here. A lot of you guys, we know each other. Some of us have actually sat down and had meals together at the same table. To go along with what I've said about eyeballs and conversion rates and no such thing as bad publicity, a lot of you guys probably realize that there's a lot of new people here commenting that have only been here today and yesterday. And that just goes to show you that what I said is correct. It's just new people. It's new pond, new blood in the pool, right? So when I moved to Camden, I moved here because James is here, because Tactical Response is here. I did business with James for a decade probably, well more than that, millions of dollars of business before I ever moved out here. But what I came to realize when I started doing social media, I told James every morning when we would have breakfast, start a Facebook page. He's like, I don't have time for that. A year later, James is like, start a YouTube page. I'm like, I don't have time for that. That's why I have 750,000 on Facebook, and James does not. But James has 100,000 on YouTube after they killed his 1 million subscriber channel, and I don't. So I say that because let's say James's customer is my customer. We share the same customers for the gun industry and the tactical stuff, right? James wants all of his customers' money to come and train and buy bullets. I want all of our customers' money to buy gear. So let's say our customer only has $1,000 to spend each year to buy bullets, take a class, and buy gear. That's why we started doing other gear that wasn't necessarily that. That's why we started cross-promoting and marketing to side-by-sides and razors and trucks and the knife industry, stuff like that, right? Because who primarily, there's some badass chicks, man. We've had some awesome fucking women come in here that fucking can hold their own and go toe-to-toe with all the dudes. But for the most part, it's a male-driven, male-dominant industry, right? What do dudes want? Testosterone, fast cars, pussy, money, right? So how do we market to them? We appeal to their hobby, side-by-sides, fucking off-road trucks, whatever it is. all those guys, they all own guns. So while I draw in new blood and they see this stuff, we can tell them about TAC response. We're bringing in new fish to the pond because the pond was inbred and overfished. And that's what we do. We just figure out how to make community, how to bring people together, like-minded people who might not share the same things, but down the road, we will have more in common. And that's what it's all about. It's just how do we add value to our customer? How do we add value not only with equipment, but value in life? We just bring like-minded people together, and they can do business together or learn from each other or just build friendships. Yeah, this is a horrible idea. Okay, I'm down in the pit. It's pretty fucking, it's pretty gnarly. I don't know what's causing that smoke, but it's pretty cool.